everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Dayspring Discussions. I'm your host, Sean McGahee, and this is a show where we talk about movies, TV, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books. If you geek out about it, we're going to talk about it. You can listen to Dayspring Discussions on iTunes, YouTube, Podomac, and Patreon, and contact Dayspring Discussions on the Gmail account, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com, the Twitter account, and the Facebook group, guys. That's usually where I do a lot of my stuff, so probably the best place to keep up with Dayspring Discussions. Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Hope you're out there enjoying your week, making it through, and there is a lot of good stuff to talk about right now. So on today's show, I got a bunch of stuff I really just kind of want to briefly mention. So it's going to be a little different from what the normal show is. Usually I bring up kind of two main topics. I don't have a lot of major topics I want to talk about, so really I'm just going to briefly go through a bunch of topics. You guys fire back on social media groups and a Gmail account. Let me know what you think. Now, last when I left you guys, the weekend was about to be upon us, and I told you there were three things I was planning on doing this last weekend besides working. One of them was watching Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, the animated film from DC that came out last week on DVD and Blu-ray, and I did just that. I watched it. Granted, it was a little late at night, so I was a little tired, so I was kind of maybe zoning a little in and out, but overall I thought it was okay. I've not read the original comic book and graphic novel, so really I was going in with fresh eyes. I like the concept of it. I love the twist at the end as well. If you are a Batman fan, I recommend going checking it out. It's a very interesting storyline that features a lot of Batman characters, but overall, I thought it was okay. Not my favorite DC animated film, but pretty good. Another thing I said I was going to do was watch Netflix's Altered Carbon. Came out last week. Last couple days, you guys have been talking about it on the Facebook group, and people have been asking me about it as well. I watched a couple episodes that first weekend it was out. I really enjoyed it, but I hadn't gotten back to it in a few days. I got one episode left, so I can't do a full season review on it right now. Needless to say, I wasn't too sure about it when I saw the trailer. I thought it kind of had like a Blade Runner feel to it, but it's so much more. I mean, this is like deep, hard, sci-fi, sweaty. We're talking body swapping and Matrix style, mind altering and all this kind of weird stuff that really people who have been watching sci-fi or into sci-fi, you will definitely grasp it. Others might be lost. My mom hit me up and I told her I was watching it, and she said, "Oh, I'm not into it, but your father is." And my dad is the guy who took me to the comic store every Saturday morning. He introduced me to Star Wars and all the other sci-fi. He's a Trekkie. Of course he's going to like something like this. And given the fact that, I grew up in that environment too, I enjoy something like this. So, if you like sci-fi, and maybe even if you just love a good mystery, because it is pretty much a detective story, go and check it out. It's got a film noir vibe to it, but set in the future. Like I said, it does have kind of a Blade Runner feel to it. I also get kind of like a iRobot. I also get kind of a Matrix thing. It's really just a mixture of a bunch of sci-fi concepts put together. And it also deals with a little bit of deep human questions, like, if humans have the ability to live forever, should we be considered gods? Just because we have the technology, what does it turn us into? All these questions about deeper meaning. Overall, it's a very enjoyable series. I'm not done yet. I can't wait to watch that last episode. I'm hoping I'm going to get to it today, but I might not, because I've been spending my days off actually watching my favorite episodes of Star Wars Rebels. I'm in the middle of Season 3. Season 4, the final episodes of the series, kick back and start on Monday on Disney XD. We got 3 weeks starting next week of Star Wars Rebels, and then we're done. So I'm trying to review my favorite episodes of Star Wars Rebels. I'm on the middle of Season 3. I got to still watch a couple episodes of that in Season 4. Like I said, that's what I've been doing my days off, so I might not get to the end of Altered Carbon, but given how deep I'm in it, the fact that I've watched 3 episodes today, and I'm on that edge of just finishing it all, I probably will push myself to the end tonight just to finish it, and I like it. I like it a lot, guys, so I recommend, if you love a good sci-fi tale, go check it out. Now, another thing that came out today was Justice League on digital HD. The Blu-ray doesn't come out for another month, but like Hollywood studios have been doing, you get your digital copy, and then a little later you get your Blu-ray and your DVD releases. Usually it's a little sooner than a month. Usually it's like 2 weeks after, but whatever. I'm of the mindset, I like having a digital copy. I do. I know it's the future, but I also like having my Blu-ray as well. So I don't buy the digital copy right away. I wait till the Blu-ray comes out, and I get the Blu-ray DVD digital copy combo pack. So I have the digital copy to watch whenever, wherever. I have the Blu-ray to watch in the comfort of my own home on my nice TV. And then I have the DVD to lend out if a friend wants to borrow it and check it out. So that's kind of what I do. So I'm going to wait till that comes out in another month, and I'll buy it then. A lot of stuff's been coming out. You got some deleted scenes that have come out online. And now we got a couple rumors as regards to the Zack Snyder controversy. I don't want to get too much into it, guys. Needless to say, there have been rumors coming out now that Zack Snyder was actually fired from the film before he left it due to the Snyder family tragedy. Nothing's really been confirmed. Nothing can say fact this is what happened as far as him getting fired and when. But I don't want to get into it because it's not that substantial and it's a little touchy subject matter dealing that there is a horrible tragedy mixed into all of it. I don't want to get into it. Needless to say, the rumors are out there. I'm excited to watch Justice League and watch all the goodies as far as the special features when it comes out next month. But however, the deleted scenes are now bringing up a lot of questions for people about a Zack Snyder cut. People are saying there was no Zack Snyder cut, you know, he left the film before it was finished, but at the same time, now it's like, well, if he was fired, the DC executives had to have seen some kind of cut of the film to say, nope, we don't like it, let him go, bring in Joss Whedon. I don't know. It's a whole big mess. Much like Justice League the movie, it is all just one big mess that I do not want to get into, so I'm going to skip it. Now, the last thing, guys, that I said I was going to do for the weekend is watch the Olympics. I hope you've been watching it. Lisa likes the figure skating. I like the ice hockey. I've been watching some women's ice hockey. Their game last night against the Olympic athletes of Russia. That's a whole story. I haven't watched it yet, but it's on my DVR to watch, so I will do that probably after I'm done doing this podcast. Check out and see if they won. Nobody spoil it for me, please. But also, I think something we're all going to look forward to is tomorrow we are being promised a special look at the upcoming Incredibles 2 film. Disney has been teasing us for a couple days now. We're going to get our first look, hopefully our first trailer, for the long-awaited film that Disney is about to put out. Hopefully it looks going to be awesome. I think everyone in all ages are excited about, given how much we all love the first Incredibles film. And also Disney has put out 2 little teaser posters in regards to the Incredibles. One is a bag of laundry. One is them in the wash. Kind of giving that whole family superhero vibe in that. Also, as I was online today, I saw a couple other cool posters. You got the Ready Player One poster. That film's coming out soon. And then you got another promotional art for Avengers Infinity War, which we're all excited about, guys. You can find all that on the Facebook group and Twitter account, so you can check it out. Next up, guys, a little piece of news that came out yesterday. It appears that 20th Century Fox is pushing back several of their films for this year. So the first one is their Predator film, directed by Shane Black. It was set to come out August 3rd, and it's been pushed back to September 4th. So pushed back maybe 5 weeks or so. Not a big deal. The other film that's been pushed back was the Robert Rodriguez directed film and produced by James Cameron, Alita: Battle Angel. This film has been pushed back from July 20th to December 21st. I'm a little disappointed. I've actually been looking forward to this film. It looked very different. I know we've got a trailer for it already. If you haven't seen the trailer, check it out online. Based off a Japanese anime, if I believe, people have been clamoring for this to come to the big screen for a while now. Robert Rodriguez is doing it. It's been a passion project for James Cameron for a while, and their collaboration in this film got me interested. The trailer got me interested, so I'm a little disappointed being pushed that far back. It's now going to go up against Aquaman, Bumblebee standalone film, the Transformers film, and Holmes and Watson, which I believe is the film with Will Ferrell. I don't know why they would push it back to that date, because it's not exactly counter-programming given the fact that you have Aquaman and Bumblebee, which would seem to attract the same audience. So July 20th, I can't remember what's going out around that time, if they were trying to get away from something. I'm hoping the main reason they pushed it back is because the film wasn't ready. That the story, the editing, the visual effects, they all just weren't ready yet. So I'm hoping that's a way of them just kind of pushing everything back to get it right. I wish Warner Brothers would have done that with Justice League, but you know how I feel about that. But I'm thinking that's what it is. I'm hoping that's what it is. If they want to push it back several months to make sure they get a better film, I'm okay with that. I just don't feel comfortable with the fact that it's going up against heavy competition with Aquaman and Bumblebee now, because I'm rooting for this film. I think the trailer looks interesting. I think the team looks good, the actors, everything. So I'm hoping this film is good, and I'm hoping pushing it back makes it better. Okay, something just occurred to me just as I was talking here. Going back to The Incredibles, the first poster we got for The Incredibles was their costumes in the laundry basket. This new one we got, I think it was last night or today, the costumes look like they're in their washer. Just occurred to me, of course, it's a series. I'm so stupid, of course. In the laundry basket, in the washer, tomorrow they're coming out and putting on the costumes for the special look. I'm an idiot, guys. I just got the whole poster thing. Sorry about that. Okay, moving along with the show, guys. Next up, Star Trek Discovery had its season finale a couple nights ago, and it kind of ended with a bang, which was Discovery meets Enterprise. Now, I stopped watching this show about mid-season. I gave it a shot. As I've said before, I'm not a big Star Trek guy. I've seen all the movies. I've watched a little bit of the shows. I like the Enterprise crew of Next Generations the best. That's probably the most episodes I've seen the most of as far as Star Trek shows. I'll occasionally watch a couple episodes if they're on BBC or Sci-Fi. Star Trek Discovery, I thought I'd give a chance. I like the current comic run, but I think it's Mike Johnson. I forget the writer's name. I think it's who it is. In the Kelvin universe that spins off the current films. The film started by J.J. Abrams, stars Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana. I like those trilogy of films. I like the comic book based on those films. Other Star Trek stuff, I can't claim, but the Kelvin timeline, I do like. So I decided to check out Star Trek Discovery. I gave it a shot. I thought it was okay. After a while, though, it just kind of lost me. I thought it was a little boring. You know, I'm a Star Wars guy, so Star Trek turns me off a little more than it should. But people were freaking out about this season finale. If you haven't seen it already, sorry I spoiled it for you. Discovery meets Enterprise. And given the fact that Discovery is set in the regular timeline, like the timeline where William Shatner plays Kirk and Leonard Nimoy plays Spock, it's in that timeline. It's not in the Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto timeline. Discovery is supposed to take place a couple years before the beginning of the original Star Trek TV show. At this point, Kirk is not captain of the Enterprise. Pike is. Now, whether we're going to get that character in the show, I think would be interesting. But what could be more interesting is the fact that Pike's first officer is Spock. Whether we're going to see Spock in Discovery is going to be interesting because the main character in Discovery is his adopted sister. And of course, we've seen his father on the show quite a bit, along with the fact that he's mentioned. Who they're going to get to play him, if they do bring him on, could be Zachary Quinto. He's a younger Spock. That could be possible. I don't know, but it's something that people have been talking about, so I thought I'd just briefly mention it. Whether I'm on board or not, it might be something, especially if they want to bring Zachary Quinto as Spock. I might actually jump back on Discovery. I might just jump into Season 2 or watch the Season 1 finale. I won't go back and rewatch all Season 1, but it's enough of a hook as a non-Star Trek fan who is interested in the franchise but doesn't really fully get it or fully watch it. It's enough of a hook that might get me to watch a couple episodes of Season 2, but we'll see, guys. Fire back on the social media group if you do watch it. Ben, I know you watch it. Let me know what you think. Okay, guys, I'm almost out of time here, so I'm going to briefly mention these two topics real quick. Hopefully, I don't run out of time. If not, I'll save something for the next show. A couple days ago, it was announced that Brian Michael Bendis is on board to develop a script for Deadpool director Tim Miller, and they're going to be working on an X-Men movie. As of right now, the film is titled 143. 20th Century Fox has brought these two together to make an X-Men film. Nobody's quite sure what the film is yet, but you got a great duo in here. Tim Miller directed Deadpool, did a great job of it. He's currently working on the next Terminator film for James Cameron. I think that comes out next year, if I believe so. Brian Michael Bendis been writing Avengers and X-Men for Marvel. Probably their #1 writer, has currently jumped over to DC Comics. Kind of a big controversy in the world of comics. I think I talked about it briefly on this show. He's actually going to write Action Comics 1000, which will be a big deal coming out come April. You got a great writer, a great director working on an X-Men film. But nobody knows what it is except for its title, 143. Now, a couple rumors are that this might actually reference Uncanny X-Men number 143, which is an early adventure of Kitty Pryde. In it, it's Christmas Eve, and Kitty is alone by herself and is being stalked by the Nagari demon from Limbo during Christmas time in the X-Mansion. Now, we did hear that Fox is looking to develop a Kitty Pryde solo film. It would make sense that after that rumor came out, that they bring in a writer and director to do it. Tim Miller, I think, has the chops to make a, film like this. I'm really interested. I don't think it's going to be exactly that storyline from Uncanny X-Men number 143, but I think it could be Kitty Pryde centered. After I heard about the rumors about the Kitty Pryde movie, I became interested in trying to develop my own Kitty Pryde trilogy. What would I do with it? So, when we first meet Kitty Pryde in the comic books, she was actually saving the X-Men from the Hellfire Club during the Dark Phoenix saga. I get that. You could start there. You don't have to do Dark Phoenix, but you could definitely have her rescue the X-Men from Dark Phoenix. Another big plot point in the Kitty Pryde story is in Astonishing X-Men, written by Joss Whedon, where she goes and saves the planet from a giant bullet that aliens had fired at it, and she phased it through the Earth, and then we thought she was dead. And then, of course, in the current X-Men comic, X-Men Gold, she's run her own team. So I think you could use those 3 plot points as a good Kitty Pryde trilogy. Almost as if you were going to reboot the X-Men franchise and start fresh, instead of centering on Wolverine, I think Kitty Pryde would be a good person to center around the X-Men. She's got a lot of good depth to her. She's a very good character that they could use. So it'd be interesting to see. I don't think it will just be spitballing, guys, me talking out loud. But that's kind of idea I had. So whether this film is going to be a Kitty Pryde film, I don't know. But in any event, Brian Michael Bendis, Tim Miller together, I think is a good duo. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with. Okay, guys, that's it for me. I am out of time. I know I ran through a lot of subjects really quickly. It's time for you guys to fire back on the social media group, the Twitter account, Facebook group, and, of course, dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com. Let me know anything about the many topics I have covered on today's show. I did not get to the Jessica Jones trailer. I am sorry, guys. I will get to it this week, I promise you, because I do want to talk just about a few things about that and about the Netflix Marvel Universe in general. So I'll be sure to get to that probably on Thursday is when I'll have the next show. New comics come out tomorrow, so I'm also going to try to review some of those and have some of those ready for you on Thursday's show as well. Let me know. dayspringdiscussions@gmail.com, Facebook group, Twitter. Time for you guys to fire back. Until next time, guys, may the Force be with us all.